This dinner is quick, delicious, and you only need to buy 5 things to make it. Start by heating up your ground beef or ground turkey in a skillet and boil a pot of water. Once your water is boiling, you'll add in some tortellini. Cook according to the package. Shred up some mozzarella cheese. I have this linked on my Amazon storefront, mealsandmunchies.com. You'll then season your meat, salt, pepper, Italian seasoning, and a little bit of crushed red chili flakes. Drain it, add a jar of marinara sauce, and 1 block of cream cheese. Once that's well combined, add in your cooked tortellini. Top this with your mozzarella cheese and bake for 10 minutes at 350 degrees. And follow me for more recipes.
Ladies, do you want to be a wife? If you answered yes, this is how you do it. This is my Cajun pasta recipe, and I guarantee you it will get a ring on your finger. Start off by boiling your pasta, and then you're going to dice up half an onion, mince up 3 cloves of garlic, set them aside, and then we're going to chop up our sausage. Now here I'm using smoked sausage, but you can feel free to use andouille sausage if you would like. Cut them up into bite-sized chunks and then set them off to the side. Now this is totally optional, but I'm going to go ahead and prep and season some shrimp. You can totally substitute it for some other protein like chicken, but I like seafood, so I'm going to go with shrimp. You're going to mix it all together, making sure that every piece of protein is coated. In a pot, you're going to place a half a stick of butter and 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and you're going to cook down your protein, starting with your sausage. You're going to brown the outside. Once it's browned, you're going to take it out and put it in a separate bowl, and then you're going to throw in your shrimp or your other protein, whatever it may be. Cook it down, take it out, and put it in another bowl as well. After you've cooked down your protein, you're going to saute your onions and garlic. Saute them down until they're soft and aromatic, and then you're going to go ahead and throw in some sun-dried tomatoes and some roasted peppers. This is definitely optional, but I'm telling you, it tastes way better. A tablespoon of flour for thickening. You're going to cook it down with the onions, and then you're going to throw in 2 cups of heavy cream. Give it a good mix in the pot. Then you're going to add 3 cups of Parmesan cheese. Now this part is very important in getting the correct consistency of the sauce, but you're going to stir and stir and stir, and you're going to keep stirring, and you're not going to want to stop stirring, because if you stop, the heavy cream and the Parmesan cheese will start to separate. Now you're going to want to season your sauce, and whatever you season it is completely up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and use the Green Latifah and the Creole Daddy from my seasoning line to season my sauce. Go ahead and drain your pasta, and now we're going to mix everything all together. So here I'm layering my pasta, then my proteins, and now we're going to just pour the sauce all over it and give it a good mix, making sure that every little bit of the noodles and the protein are covered in the sauce. Once everything's mixed together, you are done. And I promise you, if this does not get a ring on your finger, it'll at least make him want to be around you more, because you know what they say, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
Every time I make breakfast potatoes, this is the recipe I use, because not only is it super easy, it only takes a handful of ingredients. Alright, so I start off by dicing some Yukon Gold potatoes, or really any other yellow skin waxy potato, and I like keeping the skin on, but it's not necessary, so if you want to peel it, no problem. Then bring them over to a pot of salted water and bring the potatoes to a boil. And while they boil, melt some salted butter with some olive oil in a medium pan. When the potatoes are soft, drain them and then add them to the pan. Now you want to toss them in the butter and oil mixture and let them cook without touching so that one side can get crispy. I'm using some garlic powder, smoked paprika, onion powder, and of course some salt and pepper. Toss those potatoes in the seasoning mix. The pan should be somewhat dry as of now, but the potatoes should have one side that's crispy and one side that's soft. Then just turn off the heat, toss in some chopped parsley, and serve them alongside some bacon and eggs.
Let's do some cooking.
Surf and turf. Starting with a whole beef tenderloin, I'm removing the head, then cutting out 2 pounds from the center, which I'm reserving for a beef Wellington later this week. With the remaining tenderloin, I'm able to get 6 additional 5 to 6 ounce fillets. Any pieces left over will be cut into slices, which I'm using for sandwiches and stir fries. To recap, I have 2 pounds center cut Chateaubriand, 6 fillets, and 2 pounds cut into slices. For my lobster, I'm cutting a slit down the middle and pulling out the meat, laying it on top of the shell. For my starch, I'm making Robuchon potatoes. I'm boiling peeled and cut potatoes until tender, passing through a fine mesh sieve, then adding melted butter, warm milk, and salt to taste. Next, I transfer this into a piping bag with a large round tip. For my veggies, I'm making lemon butter asparagus and compound honey butter glazed heirloom carrots in my sous vide. Meanwhile, I'm seasoning and searing my fillets on all sides to a medium rare. I'm topping my lobster with more compound butter and paprika, then baking and finishing under the broiler. For my plating, I'm piping on the Robuchon potatoes, adding my asparagus, my surf and turf, then the carrots. Enjoy!
Smash burger.
Hey y'all, I got this recipe from Matt over at Cooker of Deliciousness. I wanted to stitch his video, but I don't really know how to TikTok, so I couldn't figure that out. Anyway, my store was out of the thin crust pizza dough like he used, so I used a regular crust and just rolled it out a little bit to be thinner. Added Italian seasoning and garlic powder, mozzarella, provolone. I didn't have big pepperonis like he used, so I just used what I had. Rolled it up, cut it up. He baked his, I think, on the grill. I did these in the oven, and they turned out really good. I didn't have the garlic butter he used, so I made my own. Thanks, Matt, for the recipe.
Let's do some cooking.